here is a number that does not make sense. 7 nights. Caribbean, cabin, 3 meals a day, a pool, a theatre, a rock climbing wall, $399. That is less than a mid-range hotel room in the city you just left. And that number is not generous. It is engineered. The ticket is not the product. The ticket is the trap door. And once it opens, you are no longer a tourist. You are inventory. Think about what that ticket theoretically covers. The cabin, all the food, the entertainment, the staff, the fuel, the port fees. And a fraction of a ship that cost $1.4 billion to build. Run the basic math. It does not work. Not even close. The cruise industry openly prices cabins at or near break-even on the actual cost of the berth. The ticket is not revenue. The ticket is acquisition. They are not selling you a vacation. They are buying access to your wallet for 7 days in a sealed environment with no exits and no competitors. Royal Caribbean's own financial disclosures show that onboard revenue, drinks, gambling, excursions, spa, accounts for roughly 1/3 of total revenue, but it generates a wildly larger share of the profit. Because a cocktail costs almost nothing to pour once you've already paid to put 2,000 people on the ship. So if the ticket barely pays for itself, what exactly is the business model? Follow the money past the gangway. Before you ever see the water, the cruise line has already solved a problem that land-based resorts spend millions trying to crack. How do you get a consumer to mentally commit their vacation budget before they arrive? The base ticket is cheap. That anchors your sense of value. Then come the add-ons, the drink package, the specialty dining upgrade, the shore excursion bundle, the cabin upgrade from interior to balcony. Each one presented at the moment of peak excitement when willingness to pay is highest and regret is lowest. Once a consumer has paid for the drink package up front, every drink on the ship feels free. The money is already gone from the mental ledger. This is the structural reason cruise lines push prepaid packages so aggressively. Spend before you board, and the spending stops feeling like spending. A premium drink package runs $80 to $100 per person per day. The cruise line's cost of goods for those drinks, the actual liquid, not the labor, is somewhere around $4 to $8 per drink at onboard wholesale. The passenger who bought the package and drinks 3 drinks a day, that is the most profitable passenger on the ship. But you can just not buy the package. True. Except the bar menu prices individual drinks at $14 to $18 each, which makes the package feel rational by comparison. The package is not a deal. The package is the reference point that makes the individual price feel like theft. So you buy the package. By the time you walk up the gangway, you have already spent more than the ticket price. Packages, upgrades, excursions booked in advance, the trip hasn't started, the psychological commitment is total, the ship hasn't moved and the extraction has already begun. Now you're aboard, pre-spent, relaxed, and the ship itself is going to do some work on you, starting with where they put the elevators. A cruise ship is not designed to be comfortable, it is designed to be profitable. Those two things overlap, often, but when they conflict, profit wins. And you can see exactly where they conflict by looking at the floor plan and asking one question: who does this layout actually serve? The casino sits at the intersection of the main corridor between the theatre and the restaurants. Every passenger walking to dinner passes through it. The spa is near the adults-only sun deck where the upgrade impulse is highest. The specialty restaurants cluster near the elevators. The duty-free shops line the route from the gangway to the main atrium. Nothing is where it is by accident. The complimentary buffet, the food you already paid for, is typically at the ship's stern. You walk through or past multiple paid dining venues to reach it. The paid restaurants are front and center, warmly lit, menus at eye level. The free food is findable, just not featured. That is not laziness. That is the included product being deliberately outgunned. Cruise ship casinos operate outside United States gambling jurisdiction when in international waters. No state gaming commission, no regulated payout percentages enforced by an outside authority. The house advantage on cruise ship slot machines can run higher than land-based equivalents, and the casino knows exactly where you are going to be at 11 o'clock at night. The casino does not close. It is open when you're bored at sea, when you've had the drinks you prepaid for, when the show just ended and there is literally nowhere else to go. Captive audience, unregulated house edge, custom currency. That custom currency is the SeaPass card. Your room key, your ship ID, and your payment device all in one. You tap to spend. No cash leaves your hand. No register moment. No visual of money moving. Behavioral economists call this payment decoupling. The friction of spending is removed entirely. Passengers on cashless cruise systems spend measurably more than those in cash environments. The card is not a convenience. The card is a revenue tool wearing a hospitality costume. The pool is real. The entertainment is real. The food is real. And every square foot of that layout was reviewed by a revenue team before the hull was welded. The vacation is genuine. The architecture around it is not neutral. Now here is the part they really don't tell you. You reach port, you walk down the gangway, you feel solid ground under your feet. You think, finally, I'm off the ship. I can find a local restaurant, a local tour, a real price. You cannot. You're in Cozumel, or Nassau, or Juneau. The ship sells you a shore excursion, a snorkeling trip, a rum distillery tour, a zip line through the jungle for $89 to $180 per person. The same tour, booked directly with the local operator, costs $35 to $60. The markup is 2 to 3 times. And the cruise line keeps between 30 and 50% of the retail price as a commission. Major cruise lines negotiate preferred or exclusive arrangements with port operators. In some Caribbean ports, the taxi and tour operations permitted to approach cruise passengers at the pier are the ones that have agreed to pay commissions back to the line. Independent operators are kept physically further from the ship. The competitive market you thought you entered when you stepped ashore has already been structured in the cruise line's favor. The cruise line converts real risk into a pricing premium. Book the ship's excursion and you're guaranteed the ship waits if you're late back. Book independently and the ship sails at 5 o'clock whether you're back or not. That guarantee is worth something. Whether it is worth 100% markup, spoiler, it usually is not. But it feels like it is, which is the same thing from a revenue perspective. And even when passengers book independently, the ship's economy follows them ashore. The ports where cruise ships dock have often been physically rebuilt around cruise tourism. A sanitized, brand-managed waterfront of duty-free shops, chain restaurants and jewelry stores, many with revenue-sharing arrangements with the lines. The authentic local experience the passenger went looking for is frequently just another layer of the same machine. There is no outside. The extraction architecture extends from the ship to the dock to the tour van to the rum distillery gift shop. The vacation economy the passenger enters is a single system. It just has a bigger perimeter than it looks. But all of this, the drink packages, the casino, the excursion markups, it all rests on a foundation that cruise lines worked very hard to build and almost nobody thinks about. It is not the ships, it is the flags on the ships. Cruise ships sail under flags of convenience, registered in the Bahamas, Panama, or Liberia, which means they operate outside most United States and European labor law while collecting almost exclusively United States and European passengers. This is not incidental to the business model. It is load-bearing. By registering in a country with minimal corporate and labor regulation, cruise lines pay dramatically lower corporate tax rates, face fewer environmental compliance costs, and operate under labor standards that permit contracts structured very differently from what port countries would require on land. A ship registered in the Bahamas sailing from Miami carrying Americans is legally a Bahamian vessel while it is at sea. A bartender on a major cruise line making those $16 cocktails the drink package is designed to encourage, may earn a base wage of $500 to $700 per month on a contract of 8 to 10 months, living aboard sending money home to the Philippines or Indonesia or Jamaica. The drink package margin calculation looks different once you add that number. The cruise line's labor cost for that bartender per drink served is a fraction of what a land-based bar would pay. The extraordinary margin on beverages is not just about wholesale liquor costs. It is about the wage structure that flags of convenience make possible. A woman named Maria, a composite of documented accounts from crew advocacy reporting, is 11 months into a contract on a ship she has not left since February except for a few hours in port. She works 14-hour days in the ship's spa. She is paid a base wage plus commission on products she is trained to upsell during treatments. The products are priced at 2 to 3 times their retail equivalent onshore. Her commission is 4%. The passenger paid $180 for the facial. Maria sees $7.20. The rest stays aboard. The towns that receive cruise ships have a complicated relationship with the industry. Passenger spending in port averages $100 to $150 per person per visit, but the majority of food, entertainment, and retail spending happens aboard, not ashore. The ship collected most of it before it ever docked. The machine runs on a legal architecture as carefully engineered as the ship layout. The flag, the labor contracts, the port agreements, these are not loopholes. They are the foundation. The affordable ticket and the extraordinary margins share the same load-bearing wall. So here is the honest description of what a cruise ticket actually is. It is an entry fee into a privately owned, legally distinct, jurisdiction-straddling economy where the seller controls the supply, the price, the environment, the currency, and the exit. You can leave, you just can't go anywhere. Remember that $399 ticket? Studies of cruise passenger spending, including the cruise line's own revenue disclosures, suggest total onboard and excursion spending averages $150 to $200 per person per day on top of the ticket price. A 7-night cruise at $399 per person costs, in practice, somewhere between $1,450 and $1,800 per person all in. Not a budget vacation, a full-price vacation with a very effective discount sticker on the front. The ship is not a boat with a business attached. The business is a boat-shaped room where the customers have nowhere to go. Every major industry has a version of this, a visible price that acquires the customer and an invisible architecture that monetizes them. If you want to see how the same trick works in a different sealed economy, one you probably use every week without thinking about it, the next video is already queued. The mechanism is different, the logic is identical,